Got another phone over there that I need to erase and get rid of. How are you all? Fogging conditions with low visibility. That's what they told me. All right, so let's tilt this up a skosh. Oh, really? Is everything just going to go off right now? How close does your face have to be to this stupid thing? All right. Oh, look. See? It's light. It's darker than the rest of the country. It's midnight in London. And we're just starting this thing. All right. Woo-wee. I'm tired. Yeah, I am exhausted. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is well. Do we have mic? Are we streaming every place? I didn't even set up this afternoon's deal, so we're gonna have to do that. All right. Sometimes your mornings bees like this. I got a lot of these things hanging out over here. I don't need a bunch of them. I just need the one. Let's try a clean one then. The birds are birding. I'm telling you, man, they start at the crack of dawn. They started losing their shit somewhere around like 5:30. And I was immediately woken up. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And they were just kind of like, greet the day, baby. Ooh, it's Thursday. I was like, birds, y'all need to shut the fuck up and get out of here. Squawking in the trees. Peek out the window. The sun is barely coming up. I'm like, I guess that makes sense. Oh, yeah. Oh, I managed. You don't care about this. Why am I telling you this? I managed to make a cup of coffee, though I have yet to get any in me. Let's try and get coffee in us. This needs more milk, I can tell. Yeah, needs more milk. What are you gonna do? All right. Oh my goodness. It's a nice morning. I'm sure all the problems got worked out yesterday. Oh, my eye. So we can wake up to a utopia. I'm pretty sure that happened overnight. No? Don't think so? Think the world is still a hot shit show? Oh. All right. Well. All right. Well, I guess that's the way it be, right? People do snaky shit. What can you do? Only information coming out of California is wildfires. They got other problems other than wildfires. News people you can cover, like the homelessness problem. They don't talk about what people want them to talk about. 33 million settlement by gun makers for the Sandy Hook thing. So what is that, like $1 million a kid? These fucking people suck. They should be no. But I think yeah, they need to pay more than that. Well, you're just not serious. How creative are you? There's a 4-minute test. Cities removal of portable public toilets is failing its homeless communities. Do you have a homeless community or do you just have a homeless problem? It's not like they all get together and send their kids to school. It's a homeless problem, right? You should fix it. People shouldn't. No, there shouldn't be any homeless toilet section or whatever. Nobody should be homeless. You fix it, and then they'll do some other weak sauce bullshit. Go down there, hand out sandwiches, take 1 million pictures of it, and then pat themselves on the back. And then they won't show up tomorrow because people, last I checked, are hungry every day. Look, I've met a lot of the homeless people. Some people are victims of circumstance and it's fucked up. But some people are crazy. I think the victims of circumstance who don't want to be homeless, who happen to be homeless, lost it. People are going to be put out on the street when this moratorium ends, this rental moratorium. And we should all be concerned about that. But someone always got some stupid like, they should have learned the code. Fuck you. Burn your house down when you win it. You're an idiot. Who doesn't get that? Everybody's trying to be homeless in this country. I don't think so. Man who punched the horse faces animal cruelty charges. Punching the horse is like hitting a cop. That's what they say, right? Stupidness. They write the laws against you. They don't make any sense. Sex cult member who cooperated avoids prison time. Here's the thing. I got problem with this cult and excess cult thing. All the girls say, "Oh, he made me do that, and I was just a girl." I don't even know what to say to these women. Look, if you're a lady and you get caught in this bullshit, your right to drive and vote should be taken away because you're not a fucking serious individual, right? Good Lord. It's a free society. You want to go fuck people, go fuck people. You want to start a religion about fucking people, go do that. Right? But now everybody's in a cult because they joined some secret club thing. I tell you, the people who are in charge are the super Christy ones who want you to do shit. They don't want to be moral. Right? So now they're making all the things you normally did like in the days where it was maybe the penalties were lenient. But now everything is a sex crime for 30 years. Shit that, look, the sex traffickers are actually trafficking women, right? They're not trying to drive across the state line because you're out to the state line and then like get into a federal beef because you took a girl across the state line, brought her dinnies and had sex with her, right? That's trafficking now. That could be anything. They could say, oh, you were too old. You were 17 and she was 16 and a half, right? Or you were a businessman with a prostitute. That's still trafficking. Even though you both, you never saw her again, you didn't put her in the. And these whole trafficking things were meant to go after pimps, right? Pimps selling women. But I met a lot of prostitutes too. And they're up for the games. They meant to protect them while they're doing what they're. I'm not saying that they'd rather be prostitutes than anything else. But people make the choices they make. And it's fucked up choices. And then the government cruises in and goes, ooh, how can I fucking exploit this and make it more about me? And now all the women are victims of every man they ever met. And don't worry, we'll put them all in jail. Just keep voting for us and girl power, girl power, girl power. And yeah, like I said yesterday, all this girl talk. I'm like, you better do something about these boys. You're going to educate half the group? That's ridiculous. Girls do not start wars. And in this scenario, they're going to need to. Because eventually the men will get sick of this shit and deal darkly with you. And my example was, anybody? Iran, right? Iran had mini skirts and, go-go bars and all the other shit of it in the 80s before the Ayatollah came through and hung all the gays and Jews and put women in the burqa and told them you can't drive and get your ass to the house. And all of a sudden it was like, what just happened? And the Americans were like, yeah, we're leaving. America likes to cruise into people's countries, go democracy, democracy, democracy. Everybody goes, yeah, democracy. And then all these people risk it. And America goes, that's on y'all, bye. It's like, what? All right, so today's the show that we're doing. Today's the 41st. It's the PM show we're setting up, right? So this is Thursday Eve. And what city do I live in? I live in this city. Today is this date, and this will be this afternoon at 6 p.m. All right, that's set up. Let's make sure it takes. Really got to change this camera to here. All right, it's up. Now the hard part. We got to check all the streaming before the picture goes to butt. I don't want to check the streams. Don't cross the streams, people. Anybody? Bueller? Ghostbusters, come on, people. Let's go here. It looks like I'm streaming. That's one. Go here. I should really be doing this over here so I can see what the image looks like. All right, here we go. This is going to get so bad real fast. Actually, no, we decided that yesterday it was YouTube that sort of makes everything. Copy. Do we have volume? Copy. Do we have volume? We have volume on one. Let's get out of here. Picture's still fairly stable. Let's close this. Oh, come on, man. And let's go back over here and check this one. You ready? Let's see if the picture takes a header. Makes everything. So we know we have volume with that, which is good. See, picture takes a header. Yeah, I definitely think it's YouTube. But don't get me wrong, sometimes the weirdness continues. Oh, all right, there you go. Right. See, then it looks like this. You're like, oh boy. Yeah, every time I open up YouTube, I get sort of issues. But I don't think it's on purpose, but come on, everybody uses YouTube. How is that the system that you don't burrow in on? I don't know. All right, so we have a morning show here and an evening show. I've noticed more people around me are doing morning shows because, it is what it is, baby. I'll let them try to do what we're doing. We're not doing anything anybody can do. We're doing something specifically we can do. So the rest of the house is, I don't want to say frosty, let's say about 75 degrees, right? This one, door closed, fan on, windows open. Feels like swampiness. But that's all right. I'm wearing a black t-shirt. What's wrong with me? Do I have any other t-shirt I can run and swap into? A whole bunch of flag t-shirts. I have way too many flag t-shirts, honestly. Between me and the wallpaper, no more flag t-shirts, man. But luckily, I have some decorum. I don't have flag pants, although those will be balling ass awesome. I will probably only wear them 3 times a year, right? Which is everybody, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, July 4th. Come on, people. Been thinking about this whole setup, man. I think we're gonna widen our purview of this guitar thing. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna keep an eye toward our enemies because we have enemies all of a sudden. Let's put this over here so it's not directly over the coffee. Ice water. Very little ice in this ice water, but excuse me. I gotta tell you, I gotta stop drinking coffee on top of a stomach full of freaking whiskey and like pasta. Ugh. Yeah, we have to. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she's got like a sort of a light back issue. And I was telling her, Mom, you got to get up, you got to go walking. I've been telling her this for like 5 years. Oh, and the doctor one time, I was like, Mom, don't listen to these quack ass doctors. No, I didn't say, I don't curse at or around my mom. It's just a thing that I've never done. I will curse up a friggin' storm until my mom shows up. Then it's like, it's self-censoring, which I think is good. People are ridiculous. So I just have to respond to this because this one's a good one. Iconography. All right. ... Sometimes I can't even help myself. I can only be snarky. I can only just be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right. In the best sense of that, of the word, of the idea of, man, what's wrong with you? They're finally going to pay these college athletes. You should have been paying them before you make billions of dollars off them. And the people who keep the money are keeping you away from it with lawyers and smiling in your face. And then people that they went to school with judging against you. It's all this super sinister shit. Just tired of it. Everybody in this country who is poor from the bottom has to run this gauntlet as soon as they begin to get famous. All these people show up and just play the fuck the game. I mean, they corrupt you immediately. They're always talking about this race shit while not actually doing anything about the race problem. Simone Biles, black strong women, and all this. Yeah, enough of your fucking talking. Do something about it with laws and fucking actual action with the things that are on the books. And no one's doing that. They're trying to gut the man. And all these cops from the Capitol Police are now doing all these talk shows. They're on the talk show circuit telling how bad they feel and how bad it was. Dude, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. You happen to get a nice agency that pays you a ton of money that's super duper well funded, but it's not actually what I would call an A-tier policing agency. And I said before, why? No disrespect to those cops or no disrespect to that agency, but that agency is not a AAA policing agency like the New York State Police Department is, like the LA Police Department is, like these agencies with all the shit and all the bells and all the whistles and all the training. Like, but I mean, they don't have a bomb squad. They'll call the FBI to deal with that, right? I'm pretty sure they don't have a bomb squad. I'm pretty sure they don't have an aviation unit. Where would they keep hangars, right? NYPD, I think, has multiple. helicopters. I want to say like 5 to 10, right, around the city uh, per shift. Not all of them all the way up, but I mean, New York has had police officers die in helicopter crashes. Two I remember. One, not two. I remember two died, and I remember them dying. But before that, two died in the 50s, right? So it's this idea of how much your agency does and looking at all the angles. And I think they're good agencies, but now they're being used by people to cry about it. Just tell us what happened and don't and try not to be emotional about it. And they want you to be emotional about it. They're always telling you emotion, whether it's racism, they want you to be hateful, that they're working your emotion, or whether it's, you know, some dude from a good family who does something. Then they want to peel your emotions again. He's a young man who made a mistake. You don't want to ruin his whole life. But if it's the same thing with like a black or Spanish guy, it's like they want your emotion. You're gonna let this criminal back out on the straight, and you oh yeah, my God. They don't want it to, like they still people have been convicted just because the American justice system is a hot shit show of bullshit run by Klansmen, quite frankly. They have the same philosophy. And not all Klansmen want to hang you from the tree. Some of them want your farm for pennies on the dollar, right? Someone want to mistreat you openly and publicly so they can to let you know that they're all these things that you should not tolerate. The government makes you tolerate from themselves and their allies. It really is sad, man. Nothing gets better. Capitol riots. I don't even want to hear about it. Everybody's lying about it. It's always two sides to a story perpetually. Sometimes it's just one side, right? And now public officials need to stay in power, so they're not even going to call this what it is. Like, it was a riot. But I noticed that Fox News doesn't want to call it a riot. Doesn't want to call it an insurrection. And the Democrats and MSNBC want to call it a riot, even as the charges don't stand for what they're saying, right? If I said, "Oh my God, he was like someone attacked you," right, and I was on TV and giving my account of it, and I was like, "Oh my," and it was a fist fight. You guys fighting in traffic, like the story I told yesterday, right, about the guy who rolled up on me, that idiot, right? You're fighting in traffic. By the time the cops come and I get the story, oh, it was attempted murder, and people didn't see it. Just like, oh my God, this is how, and now we all saw this. How are you framing this? And I said that they weren't insurgent. It was a riot, right? Yeah, they're going to go do some jail for rioting, do some time for rioting. They're going to do some time for assaulting the police, right? They're going to do some just being assholes in public. Okay, there's enough laws on the book now that you're going to activate because this thing happened to you when normally you wouldn't activate anything if it happened to anybody else. Having said that, let's call it what it is. It wasn't an insurrection. Nobody's going to follow those guys. Those guys were not names. We're not going to be on our money. There weren't going to be statues of them. None of that. It was if it was a coup, it's quintessentially an American lazy ass, not even well thought out fucking coup, right? And how far did they get? And if that's the case, how come only one person was shot? And that one person just shot was a lady, right? They're getting better treatment because if it was Black Lives Matter and you shot somebody and we were all around him trying to get into a door, you would charge everybody around with that dude's murder because he wouldn't have been murdered if y'all all weren't doing this thing, right? It's the idea of like bank robber. We rob a bank and then the cop shoots at us as we drive away and hits one of our bank robber guys, and he dies in the car, and then they later catch us all. Even though we didn't shoot anybody, we didn't kill anybody, the cops can charge that dude's murder on us because he wouldn't be dead if we. This is the double talking back up of fucked up nonsense of these people. They don't make any sense. Like the story about the fat cop who chased that young dude and died of a heart attack, and then they charged him with killing the cop, like he fed him these donuts and made him have this unhealthy life and put him in jail for 40 years. The arrogance of these bullshit people in the legal system. Every black person in this country should be a lawyer or a paralegal before they decide to be anything else. They take the best ones and send them back here at us. Like fucking, quite frankly, time bombs to come and deal more darkly with us. I already told you what I feel about Al Sharpton and the preacher with mob ties. I mean, it's all just so goofy. I see no promise in it, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I just think so many people are sort of over it. Want real change all over the place, and people just keep shoving money in their pocket and telling you it's someone else's fault that you don't have health care or, the ability to go to school. I heard there was a labor march showed up in New York City from, I want to say, Tennessee or Kentucky, but they had to go to New York City because nobody was covering it, and they went to the heart of like the media industry to like block not really block a street. They had a permit and all, but when they were down where this was, the media didn't care. The media didn't give a fuck. They care too much about Britney Spears. Like, what's going to happen to Britney Spears and her money and her family affects you at all. That's the problem. Hey, let's give you this shit that's, I don't know, interesting or something, but it doesn't affect you. Britney Spears, them throwing her in a cell doesn't affect me. Them giving her all her money and throwing her parents in a cell doesn't affect me. Her giving away all her money doesn't affect me. Her not giving away anything and becoming a hermit, it doesn't affect me. Why is she in the news? And if you were really serious, you'd be complaining about why is she allowed to perform if she's fucking nuts? Why are you allowed to make money off of this dancing monkey? Shouldn't she be in a hospice since she's mentally ill? It's just, it goes on and on and on and on. That didn't work out. It is what it is, man. So, that's some of today's news. Yeah, the Capitol riots, everything bipartisan infrastructure deal. You needed $4.5 trillion. You got $1.25 trillion, and you're taking victory laps. It's ridiculous. It's like if the fire department showed up to put the fire out, and yet the fire wasn't raging yet, but they showed up and they dicked around and they fucked around, and then your house burns to the ground, and they're over there talking about we saved the doghouse, which is 30 feet off from the house, covered in water. Now your dog is soaked, damn near drowned. These people are incompetent. Really fucking sadly incompetent. Ugh, Lizzo's disgusting. I mean, it is Thirsty Thursday. None of this is any good. Hemp is legal again. Congress should make it easier to farm. Yeah. So this woman wins a gold medal and they spin it about Chinese abandoned babies. That's what I'm talking about. Right? You win the gold, you're running in sneakers, they can find some weird color. They'll write a whole fucking story about your sneakers. Well, if you ran without sneakers, they'd write a whole story about why you ran without sneakers. And then they would repeat it for 6 months. It's crazy. Really do need news. Amy and John Schubert, couple charged of January 6th Capitol riots. Who didn't know that was a bad idea? So, first of all, you know that the black community does not fuck with homosexuality, right? So every time I hear some young black dude goes, I don't fuck with that. And then you have to get all these giant organizations to attack him, his record label and then he comes out crawling, right? This happens to no one else but us. And this is why we should own our own shit, right? Your own record label, your own stuff, own your own music. He's just, I mean, first of all, rap is shit anyway. But yeah, get him on TV, defend yourself instead of a bullshit apology released by, actually, he says it, but it's not even released by his lawyers, like actual money people do. They don't ever show up and give an apology. They release a statement. But all these companies, what is GLAAD for? Gays to do what? They just so always they're like the NAACP now. They show up with a fucking opinion about something. I'm tired of all these fake people who make money off other people's disasters and then try and guilt you. And a lot of it is guilt and trying to get you to feel a certain way about a group. It has very little to do with facts and figures on the ground. My whole concern, like I said before, is black people. I don't care about any other fucking group anymore. I march for everybody. A lot of these groups are one way. Now I want to stop the police shootings on these streets and all this stuff. Because when I get into arguments, I'm gonna stop you right there before you can type shit. When I get into these arguments, my main focus is that there's a body count with black people. I don't see a body count with any other body. So all these Asian people talking about getting laws written, you're just fucking blotting out the sun for the people who really need the sunlight on their concerns. No one's running around. And we've had some incidents, right? But black people are dying every fucking 3 days and have been for about 300 years with this nonsense. So yeah, you're not really about fixing anything or helping anything. You're a distraction. And then people set up groups like GLAAD, and then they just make money forever. Can't wait to get some publicity off of something. Trans bathrooms, trans athletes. Let me tell you what I think. You're all for all of that shit. There's got to be something you're not for, right? The NAACP wasn't for everything. NYPD officer fired after allegedly raping a teenage girl. Officers with 2 S's, well, there were 2 of them. 2 New York City Department officers were fired this year after allegedly raping an underage girl who was enrolled in the department's youth program. Sanad Musalam and Yasser Shohatz are accused of having sexual contact with a 15-year-old girl between 2015 and 2016 while she was a member of the Law Enforcement Explorers program. During that time, the media exchanged more than 1,500 text messages with the girl, some of which included photos and sexually explicit content. Are they going to be arrested, though? These fucking cops, man. In today's world, the allegation is enough. You say that shit now, but when it's black kids who are not connected to the cops, it's instantly, we have to do something about these predators. And it's just fucking, every single incident just makes me fucking crazy. So I guess they're gonna sue to try and get their jobs back. But she was 15. You got text messages, you got dick pics, and I'm assuming they said sexual things. So I'm assuming he didn't send his bicep, right? He sent. It doesn't make any sense, man. The Justice Department puts states on notice about election audits and voting changes. Okay, so you put them on notice and January 6th lawsuit, but he's not facing any charges. Making people get vaccines who don't want to get vaccines by threatening their job. Another rapper criticized for homophobic IG live rant. See, who are you to say what's homophobic? Right? You paint the story. Just give me the news. What did he say? Let me throw homophobic in the title so you know where I'm coming from. Anti this in the title so you know where I'm coming from. Right? It's in a place where people aren't fucking learned people. Let's face it. Nobody likes to read. You should love to read. Nobody likes to work out. You should love to work out. I mean, they just rubber stamp convictions. You're killing me, bro. 2 cops were arrested after one of them pistol whipped and choked an unarmed man. See, I told you. Can I make? Yep. Officer John Hubert is seen choking Kyle Vinson while he bleeds from his head. This is the arrogant bullshit that I'm always talking about. First of all, you can't see it because the image is messed up. Come on, image. But this is, like I said, like you thought you were going to keep it in one community, and you're not. This is a white guy being choked out by a white cop, got blood running out of his ear, and they arrested the cop because People are like, oh, well, it's not me. It's still, and it's been this way forever. And now, and like I always say, it wasn't always kept off the table, right? Even when they have the black people, they suppressed it. So you know they super suppressed it with white folks and just paid them off. And now the world can see you just be dark and cruel and evil, right? And police commissioners have the authority to fire everybody, right? On his say so. You do not represent this department. You are bad for this department. And no one ever does that. I'd be swinging an axe through these things with some of these two guys. Fired them immediately. Good job. But you know what? Won't fire them for super violence. You'll keep them on. You'll let it run. Nope. Wow. So we're ready through the news. We've been streaming for 36 minutes. Look at this picture. He looks pissed off that you even bought to arrest him in his yellow police like criminal jumper. There's your former police officer, Officer John Hubert. Don't hurt me, Vincent pleaded. Don't shoot me, bro. If you, the graphic video shows streaks of blood running down Vincent's head while he grasped for air and cried that he couldn't breathe. As help would yell, "If you move, I will shoot you." Don't hurt me, Vincent pleaded with officers. Don't shoot me, bro. Hubert, 39, was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree assault, second-degree assault, felony menacing, official oppression, and first-degree official misconduct. 3-year veteran of the Aurora Police Department has been put on the 3-year veteran. Yeah, get rid of him. You don't need him. Get rid of him. The idea of this isn't even a chokehold. It's you standing over somebody with your hand on their neck, with all your weight on them, giving them, you know, while the guys, and you've got it on your body camera, arrogant as fuck. Yeah. This is what you got. These are the people around that you leave your children in the care of when you go to work and they try and go to school, right? They run into you don't want them to run into somebody, because kids do goofy stuff, right? Teenagers, you'll say, get out of here. They see something, flip it, right? But you don't need them beat up by the cops and then have bullshit charges laid against them with some lazy ass judge who just rubber stamps everything. This shit is not over. They're not trying to, but the reporting of it becomes less and less. And then they'll start talking more about the celebrities, and this shit will keep going on. Indianapolis FedEx shooter who killed 4 Sikhs was not racially motivated, police say. Okay. I don't know how that's even a thing. Here's one. A Wisconsin officer will be charged in the 2016 slaying of a black man. That's 5 years ago. A Wisconsin judge on Wednesday found probable cause to charge a police officer in the 2016 slaying of a black man who was sitting in a parked car, taking the rare step of overruling prosecutors after they had declined to charge the officer. This is also your problem. The prosecutors hang out with the cop brass. And it's this nudge, nudge, wink, wink thing. So meanwhile, there's a body on the floor, and they all become conspiracies to cover up a murder when they do this shit. But who's going to arrest them? It's supposed to be the feds, actually, but that's that. Yeah, let's not even bother. A Wisconsin judge on Wednesday found probable cause to charge a police officer in the 2016 slaying of a black man who was sitting in his parked car. Milwaukee County Judge Glenn Yamahiro, an agency, there you go. If his name was something more European, something tells me this wouldn't be a thing. Said probable cause existed to charge Joseph Mensah with homicide by neglect. A homicide by negligent use of a weapon in Jay Anderson Jr.'s death. He ordered a special prosecutor to formally file the charge within 60 days, 2 months. Yahiro's decision marks a victory for Anderson's family, who took advantage of a little-used provision in the state law to ask the judge for a second look at the case. Little used, because no one knew about it and other people weren't saying anything about it. This is why, man, you better get a judge from out of town who don't know these people. Hold on, I gotta honk my honker. Sad. Remember, yes, we're playing guitar, but we talk politics, we talk social ills. Yeah. Excuse me. I hope I've got no boogies hanging out. All right, look, the picture hasn't gotten any better. And also a good part of this show is complaining about this restreamer. I think I'm gonna have to fucking buy an actual restreamer. We'll see. We will see. We will see. I might give this one another. Well, you want to give it to September, October, and just after that we just concentrate on Twitch or YouTube. It's sad to say, but yeah, this it's a thing. It's making me fucking crazy. It really is making me crazy. It doesn't make any sense. If I open up something else, let's open up something else. It goes bad, but it never actually, and it stays like this, like it's, and you can't ever actually. Where is it? Here it is. Let's cut the camera off. And let's give it a fucking couple of seconds, and then we cut the camera back on and see what happens. See? It's worse. And if I go over here and open up YouTube, it's just gonna cry. Yeah, there you go. YouTube shuts down the video for some reason. That's worse. Yeah, this looks horrible. This is a horrible stream. I mean, the video is not good. And everything is a video world, so I don't really know what to make of it. Yeah, all right. Well, tis what it is, right? Let's shrink this down. What is this? All right. Let's play a little guitar. We went through some. Do you want to finish the story? We know how this went out. Yeah, sit in his car, murder you, and then just write a bullshit report. Everybody rubber stamps it. I mean, you're letting murderers walk around. Like I said, I work with a cop who killed 7 people. You can look into any one of those cases. Well, maybe all but 2 of them. Right? But I would even say those 2 are suspicious as fuck. No one cares. That's not so. Who knows? It'll be a different landscape in 10 years, maybe. And murder is murder. You can go back and pick people up for something that they did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. These people are playing the stupid game of arrogantly being, quite frankly, serial killers on government payrolls. Right? And it's always the same type of person they shoot. Young black men. They're not shooting anybody else. They're not shooting Asians or white kids doing ridiculousness. Right? It's and you don't want people to know that you got all these racists in your police department, so you can't keep confirming everything is racial. Look at this imagery. Yeah, I don't know. We might even make it to fucking October, November. Minister who is black discovered 25-year-old Anderson. Oh, good. 3 a.m. in a park in Wisconsin, a Milwaukee suburb. So yeah, so the cop who shot him was black. There's also that, right? The other 2 cops I know who went to jail were the people who shot that Australian lady in the chest. That dude who shot her was black. He was instantly arrested. Right? There was no, well, we're looking into this and da 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 da. He was instantly arrested. There was another dude who chased this guy, and he had his 5-year-old in the back seat, and they shot at his car. The 2 cops. One of those 2, I want to say, were black as well. They shot into the car and killed the little boy. The father was unhurt. They were instantly arrested. It was like, ooh. So I think the whole place just needs to bicarbonate and soda and just kind of get it out of its system. I mean, Minister said he shot Anderson after Anderson reached for a gun, but Anderson claimed to dispute that, and the judge on when they said the evidence did not back up Minister's version of the accounts. Here's the thing. I have a gun on you. I mean, it sounds reaching. People just hear and go, yeah. But in reality, none of this shit ever plans out. Because if I have a gun on you, what are you reaching for? Do you have it tucked in your waistband? Do you have it already out? I mean, do you have the, it's a death sentence to do that to anybody. So nobody would do that. No one would have a gun pointed at them and then reach for a gun in a car, right? Normally, car stops are dangerous and cops get shot. Nobody's reached for any guns, right? It's already on you. You're sitting on it. It's tucked here. And then you walk up without your gun out, like gun on your handle, your weapon. But hey, can I ask you some questions? Blah, blah, blah. That's fine. And the guy, that's the way that happens. It's not like you've got your gun out and you're giving the guy a chance to pull his gun out and aim it, and then you shoot him. All this, he was on PCP, which they said all through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Everybody that the cops shot was on PCP. And now everybody, it was for a while, everybody used the same phrase, a furtive movement, which is a legal phrasing, which tells me that somebody told you to say exactly this. No, tell me what happened. And in the land of cameras every place, more and more of these are being caught on camera, even when these cops turn their cameras off. Judge says Officer Mensah could have waited for backup. This is true. Nobody's life was at risk. You could have waited for other cops to get there. And if you're a cop, let me tell you, if someone's doing some dumb shit, you are on the hook for that shit. I will openly tell people, I'm not for this. I am not for this. This is bullshit. And I'm not working with that guy or that guy because they're arrogant assholes and they're racist, which is why my name is Mud in the New York City Police Department. But I like it. I love the job. I got to meet a lot of people. It was super amazing. It was never boring. Oh my God, it was never boring. Talk to people like, they're human beings until they show you that they're an asshole. And then you remind them that I will lock your fucking ass up and do it immediately. So let's not go down that road. Let's figure out what happened here. All right, man. All right, whatever, man. But then they calm down, and that's what you want. And some people calm down, and the cops get all in your face. You're like, what are you doing? Just these people who should not be cops. In it, it's one of the best jobs, and now it's all taken over by racist asshats and incompetence. The judge also noted problem with the investigation and cited that what he said were structural defects that have neighboring law enforcement agencies investigating one another and nearby district attorneys making charging decisions. He ordered a special prosecutor to be appointed to the case. It sounds like, an old boys club. Yeah, I know someone's in that department, but don't worry about it. Drive around, smack around anybody you want, kill anybody you want. We got you. Now you got a special prosecutor, and everybody go, oh, shit. And special prosecutors never go far enough. This is always a conspiracy, right? It's a conspiracy. You get the coroner to lie. People writing reports online on it. The shooter is going to be protected. All the people won't. Okay. All right. I don't see how this shit is going to get better unless serious people are serious about it. And I don't think they are. Well, yeah. A woman was handcuffed on the ground when police sergeant kicked her in the head. Yeah. Yeah. It's that kind of shit. Why would you trust the cops? No matter what you do, at least some ridiculous behavior. So you don't even really know what is appropriate or not. If I'm on a dark road and the cops pick me up, do I stop there in the middle of the dark road, or do I drive to a lit area at low speed with my hazards on? That guy flipped that pregnant lady and her baby, and right? People tasering people who shouldn't be tased, people choking people out, people shooting people with just the amount of incompetence going on here. And you're expected just to be like, we're fine, we're good. And then it happens next week. Oh no, don't worry, you're fine, we're good. And then it happens the week after that. Oh no, don't worry, you're fine, we're good. You're like, no, we're gonna get a handle on it. We have a seat in New York that have CCRB after all these killings and Michael Baez being choked to death, which was also caught on camera, not video, but back in the days, there's a picture of him being choked out by this cop. And then they make the CCRB, the Citizens Complaint Review Board. They have no arrest power. They have no investigative power. They essentially made another government agency and stocked it with their friends. And every now and then when there's a killing, they just come out, and they used to come out and say something. We're going to investigate, but they have no power to investigate. Got no power to arrest anybody. You can ask them, well, we're from the government agency, and you can tell them to go fuck yourself. And they couldn't do anything about it. And now they don't even say shit. So all these people who are talking about civilian review boards, you better make sure you have the power to arrest people, the power to compel people to tell you the truth on the stand, or you might as well go fuck yourself, because they're going to fuck you over too. Yeah, let's look it up. Civilian Complaint Review Board. La, da, 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 da. Let's see if it has any power, and it doesn't. Civilian Complaint Review Board. How do we get on this? We check the morning news is what happened. New York City Gov checks. Blah. MIT excessive complaints. They have to keep the complaints about the cops a secret, and then they can expunge them after like 5 years or some bullshit. No, you don't expunge somebody's record. It's their record. What is this bullshit? Just, oh my God. Investigator jobs. Let's see. Become an investigator. Oh, let's see what this says. It's in the New York City. Work with us, who we are. The Civilian Complaint Review Board has over 100 full-time civilian investigators. There are 30,000 cops in New York City. So yeah, you're already understaffed for this bullshit. Investigators form the core of the agency, and The agency has over 100. But what we're looking for, what you get as an investigator after weeks of thorough training, the autonomy they need to seek answers in closed cases. What does that mean? Because you don't have arrest powers. Ongoing professional development and training. That's the competitive side. Comprehensive medical. Interest. No, okay. You know what? This is not awesome. I'm glad this is not on camera. All right. Shielded from justice, New York City Complaint Review Board. Oh, so new. When former New York David Dinkins supported an independent civilian complaint review board in September 1992, police protested violently and engaged in actions, according to the police department report, that were unruly, mean-spirited, and perhaps criminal. An officer protest sponsored by the police union involved thousands of officers demonstrating at City Hall. I remember that. It was a cop riot, blocking traffic to the Brooklyn Bridge and shouting racial epithets at the mayor. The current mayor, this is an old article, Rudy Giuliani participated in it. So Rudy Giuliani participated in the cop riots in New York in 1992 and the Capitol riots of January 6, 2021. That dude is a piece of shit. But black people have been telling you Giuliani is a piece of shit for 20 years and you didn't give a fuck. Yeah, the Civilian Complaint Review Board has no oversight. It's sort of sad. I mean, they just whine. What are the powers of the Civilian Complaint Review Board? Make it sound like you're going to walk and throw handcuffs on the cop and walk him out. What other powers of the Civilian Complaint Review Board? About CCRB. Yeah, I don't want to read it from a government website because it's going to be full of crap. Review of National Police Oversight Model. The New York experience exiting models of civilian oversight. Existing models of civilian oversight. Police Civilian Review Board. Board of Commissioners. How the police and politicians undermine civilian oversight of law enforcement. April 27, 2021. This is new AF. Washington Post. We're not going to be able to read this. You know why? Because you need to have a subscription. When communities try to hold police accountable, law enforcement fights back. Civilian oversight is undermined by politicians and police who contend are ill-equipped to judge officers. Go fuck yourself. So who's equipped to? Other officers? The fuck out of here. You know, 1 minute you want everybody to fight these wars for America. The second you want to call these people are morons and don't know what they're doing, so we will handle it for them. It's what is 516, 19, 7, 19, 3, 3, 26, 7, 18. On the wall outside the Southwest Organized Pride, which is dedicated to empowering low-income communities of color, display the dates when unarmed people were killed by the police. Wow. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This was supposed to be the board that wasn't dysfunctional, and it ends up being just as dysfunctional, just as infected as the prior iteration. And that's what you do. You make sure it doesn't work, so nobody's ever arrested or prosecuted or anything. You sink it. I mean, you're killing people's children. I mean, come on, man, seriously. I don't even know what to tell you. Let's end this right here. So yeah, I don't know. I may read this later. Oh, cancel that and shrink this down. All right. Oh my goodness. It's quite a way to get the day started, right? Ugh. We've been streaming for about an hour. Let's play. Look at this imagery again. Let's play some. Maybe if I close this. I'm leaning on something. All right. So what have we learned today? We learned that, man, I can fall into a political hole when I'm around information about, look, social justice and cop shit is my wheelhouse, right? I'll talk about that shit forever. We got a head full of stuff about it. I want music to be my wheelhouse. Oh, it's this. I cannot put these two together though. Then E. Ugh. Back to A. D. They're all right. I just can't get them together. Oh my God. E. A. Yeah. We're not going to suck forever. We're just going to suck from the beginning for a little bit. And we're sucking less, right? We are not as bad as we were when we started some 40 days ago. It is 8 o'clock. We have been streaming for one. Is it 8 o'clock? Yes, it's 8 o'clock. We have been streaming for 1 hour. We got like another 15 minutes before we all have to go to the mines and keep the lights on, put food on the table, plan for the kids. tomorrows, and yeah, but I'm here for you. Your enemies are arrayed against you, so you need allies. So go make friends. Sometimes it's just as good to have friends go, man, you might want to stop watching the news or raise this a little bit. You might want to stop watching the news or the horror shit, man. Your psyche is just a shit show of a swamp now. So then you have to readjust it. You have to clean out all the crap. It's hard to clean out crap out of your subconsciousness. Remember that. So you can push good shit in it, right? Your memory bank is a storage warehouse. So if it's all sad memories and bullshit, you know, you can change that, is all I'm saying. This idea that no one needs anybody is making me crazy. Because I know people need people. People are people, so why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully? I thought I was going to sneeze. Guess not. Ugh. Whew. So, sneezing, now I'm too high. Have it? Good. All right. So, sneezing. Always sneeze. Always blow it out. In your shirt, in your sleeve, especially in the pandemic. But don't stifle it. Because apparently it's a lot of pressure and you could pop a blood vessel someplace, throw something out of alignment. I had someone tell me they coughed and blew their back out. I was like, by coughing? What the heck? But yeah, you don't ever want to get so sort of shot that simple things throw you out. What is it better? To live healthy and on your own till, let's say, about 65, 70, right? 60, 65, right? Or to live to be 110 and have people take care of you. The only people you can trust to take care of your family. And that depends on your kind of family. But I think strangers don't do it as well as people who love you personally, right? We live in a society where people make all this money and then stick their parents in a home as a sign of success. But I'm like, shouldn't your parents be living with you? Right? I don't know. People's definition of family is always curtailed by money and cash and bullshit. That actress who was in all those teeny bopper movies where people are like, is that appropriate for her to be in? When her mother got old, she stuck her in a home across the country from her. And that tells me that you didn't like that woman. That's what that tells me. Someone just send me a monthly update to my agent about her, and we'll see what happens. Why do your kids not like you? That's not on anybody else but you. And I'm one of those persons that if your kids, I kind of blame the parents. I do. I have to. Can't blame the neighbors. And granted, I know some kids are out of control and wild, and some people don't know how to do it. I know, I get it. I get that. But your kids shouldn't hate you at the end of the day, even though they were rambunctious and crazy, right? Family's important. That's what I say. Is this out? It is officially out. We're going to have to seriously address our smoking problem. We've been thinking about that all day. What is the weather going to be today? Sunny all day, baby. 81, 80, 80, up to, okay, it's going to be 90 degrees today. Remember, we were talking Monday about starting your weekend and not hating Mondays, and bam, here it is Thursday already. These days will move on you like a fucking landslide, right? So one minute everything is stable, and finally you look up one day and you're like, oh my God, today's my 30th birthday, right? Oh my God, Am I 40 already? It seems like I just turned 30 yesterday. These are how these days come at you. And then one day, it'll all be a blur, right? The dog will grow up and grow old and pass away. The kids will grow up, get older, and move away. For our young people, for our older people who know this to be true, our young people can't wait to chomping at the bit to start their whole thing, unaware of how unfair the place is, and their elders did not make it any fairer for them. What do, huh? Oh my God, people are hysterical. What about isms? I don't deal in what about isms. Yeah, so it is what it is, man. Let's try and play a couple of more ditties. We only know that one thing. We can't even get that right, but that's all right because by round about January, we're gonna know song. I should say that with a little more confidence, right? Yeah, by January, we're definitely gonna know a song. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be moving through this nicely. Come on, we've only been at this for a month. We're new and we're exceptionally devoted to learning it. I will tell you, I need to go back to doing finger exercises because this finger is really weak. I'm really surprised at how weak this finger is, and my pinky is still weak. So I went from having one weak digit, which I knew, which was the pinky. Everyone says the pinky, but this digit is also wonky AF. If I can do this with a pick, I'm just curious. Yep. I think I like finger picking better versus plectrum plucking. So remember, today is the first day of whatever the fuck you want to start. And you're never as bad as the first day you ever start something. Cooking, music, dancing, singing. You're always the worst at the first day of it. And you got to get better because you're a human animal. And that's how I'm assuming you're a human animal. And that's how humans work. You might be an alien, extraterrestrial. If you're an alien or an extraterrestrial, if you're an alien / extraterrestrial, is that better? I don't think that's better. If you're from another planet, let's say that, I don't think these lessons will apply to you, considering we don't know your appendages or even if your species likes music. So these may not apply to you. So take our women, leave our guitars alone. I was about to say take our politicians too. Birds. Birds do it, bees do it, even gnats and fleas do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. That's the 50s version of that "You and Me, Baby, Ain't Nothing But Mammals" song. So let's do it like they do another Discovery Channel. It's the same topic, the same energy, just written by people from 50 years apart. They're both funny. Well, yeah. Well, one is not funny, but I think it's Dinosaur Jr. You and me, baby, we ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. All right, let's get the lyrics for this one. We're gonna pop this. We're gonna open this. We're gonna put this here. I don't know the title, so you just write the song lyric. You and me, baby, you ain't nothing but mammals. All right. Haha, we know we call this active mating, but there are several other important differences between human beings and animals that you should know about. Sweet baby, sex is a Texas baby sex. Wait, sweet baby, sweet comma baby. Sorry, sweet baby. It's not sweet. I can't even read. It's sweat baby, sweat baby. Baby sex is a Texas drought. Me and you don't do the kind of stuff that only Prince would sing about. So put your hands down on my pants and I'll bet you'll feel nuts. Yes, I'm Cisco. Yes, I'm Ebro. And you're giving it 2 thumbs up. You've had enough? What? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. You and me, baby, ain't nothing. Some of these lyrics are just freaking ridiculous. All right, I can't even get into it. I'm sort of sliding off my cheese here. Let's close this up. Let's shrink this down. We've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. It's about where we end the show. Some guitar, some stuff, some coffee. You know, we do it every morning that way. Us and our intimate friends of a couple of million, right? It is what it is, man. These are your days. You should dictate the value of them and who you spend them with. And people need people. So make friends. Like I said, don't accept everybody's friendship, but like it's good to be cool and to know people. Do some things. Get your shot. Go out there, and attack the world. Right. All this I hate Mondays is bullshit. Everybody just says it. I'm like, why do you hate Mondays? Because everyone else hates Mondays. Come on, seriously. Don't hate these days. You only get a certain number of them. I want to thank you guys for swinging through. I wish I had a better show today, but it is what it is. Some are not awesome. Some are just this. I got love for you. I will see you tonight at 6 p.m. Please come on through. And yeah, we end it here. Got love for you. I wish I had a speech, but I don't. Tonight, and we'll be here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and then tomorrow night at 6. But I hope I'll see you tonight, and have a good day. Peace out, guys.